FTD2. Look at me. No, look at me. I'm the captain now. Yeah, FTD2 was winter operations. It was a lot of fun. I was the captain. My partner was the FO. The pre-brief was we talked about climb profiles, RNAV departures, if we can take off in heavy snow, which we can. I didn't know that. We're allowed to take off in heavy snow. We just don't get a holdover time. We don't have a holdover time, and we have to do a tactical check when we get to the end of the runway. We talked about no snowfall intensity on ATIS, when to go to the snowfall intensity chart, which is basically it's a visibility chart, and it has visibility and temperature, and it determines whether the snow is light, moderate, heavy. Um, what else did we do? Lose an engine going direct. You have to check single engine climb tables. That was just part of the brief. We didn't kill an engine. Climb table, that messed me up. Based off the Mora in the area, there was some mountain operations that we did. We talked about uncontrolled airport operations in the snow in the mountains. So it was pretty intense. I went from Denver to GUC. I forget what that airport code is, and then which GUC is uncontrolled. And then the next group that was in back of us, they went GUC to Denver, which was pretty interesting. So it was just full of stuff. I mean, constantly failures, making decisions. I learned a ton, and it's interesting because these FTDs. After this, we just go straight into the MTs, which is maneuver training, and then we take the check ride. So this is the only time we get to really practice our flows, I think, and all of that good stuff. So some of the notes I got was we got overfueled. Um, we got overfueled. I did catch that, and so he was happy with that. Called maintenance out and had them redo the fuel. I didn't. It was just so much going on, just trying to remember my flows and all of that good stuff. I didn't brief the flight attendant before the passenger started to board, and he was just like, like they have a lot going on, so make sure we try our best to do that before the passengers get on board, so she can actually pay attention to your brief. Uh, Wait for the numbers before departure briefing. That's just like formality, like the speeds. We didn't wait for it. We just kind of did it, and that's what they want us to do. I didn't brief. Like I knew the weather that we were. It was snowing. It was heavy snow. I knew we were gonna have to de-ice, and I didn't brief icing during my departure briefing. I should have talked about the holdover time, where we were going, before we even taxied, and but usually, except for the taxi, usually we would talk about that while we're getting de-ice because it takes like 10 to 15 minutes. So, but he was saying I should have did that at the gate. He tricked us, and I thought it was funny because both me and the next group, we both missed it. In the paperwork, the TLR that we got, we didn't have any weather to an alternate, no NOTAMs for it, and we just kind of missed that. Like, like I said, there's a lot going on, and like trying to just remember your flows. I mean, we didn't notice that there was a whole section missing from our paperwork, which did make us legal. Where were we at? No NOTAMs. We had a hung start, so that was interesting. Flight attendant call before I requested before. Oh, we when before we take off, we always Susie, please have a seat for departure, or Joshua, please have a seat for departure with our flight attendants. I signaled my partner, the FO, to actually sit the flight attendant down. She never called, and we took off without her calling. So, I mean, we technically wouldn't have known if everything was okay back there. So he just told me to be mindful of that. Um, Abort takeoff kind of threw me off. I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I froze for a second because I'm looking and I'm just like, I'm looking at my partner like, call the abort, and not remembering like, oh, I'm the captain now. Like, so, call abort, maintain control of the aircraft. set the parking brake, all that stuff. Max braking and have him talk to tower, sit the flight attendant down, passengers, let everybody know everything's okay. Um, what if you have an engine fire during takeoff? I got this right, but he went over it anyway. You do the engine fire on the ground checklist first, and then we follow it by our board takeoff checklist. Uh, I didn't check the fuel at all, so um, like I said, it's not a normal flight. It was a lot of things going on, and they make the scenario for you to actually, it kind of pushes you to like. It's a stressful 2 hours. It's a large workload. So I didn't check the fuel at all during the flight. I mean, I had the fuel page up, so I mean, but I'm be honest with you, I don't think I looked at it. But that was it for my notes. The people that were paired up, they went next. He said something about checking the ODP departure. Um, they did a good job briefing the complex special. Um, we have shed buses. The way shed buses work is if on the ground, if we don't have at least 3 generators up and running, which could be two, there's 2 generators on each of our engines. So as long as we have 2 engines up and running, or if we have 1 engine in the APU, the shed bus, which is just stuff like the flight attendants' coffee pots, our nose wheel light, like stuff that's not that important. It's not being powered. So he just said, put the shed bus and override and leave it there. They made the same mistake, get takeoff numbers and then do departure briefing. He talked to them also about verbal VVM, which is verbalizing, visualizing, and monitoring cross check. They started off really well doing it, but like I said, it was a high workload, and as you start to get somewhat stressed in the FTD, you kind of like revert back to like bad habits of like not confirming the altitude that we have set, or when we're getting ready to put direct into like if ATC gives you go direct to this fix, not telling your pilot monitor and like, all right, we're going direct to I don't know, direct to LeBron James, and then and having your partner say, all right, confirm direct LeBron James, and then we hit it. Um, I think they did really well. It said be configured by 1,000. Uh, I'd say a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. FTD 2 was pretty intense. I came out of there not feeling too well. But even though he said we both did a good job. I mean, I didn't feel like I did my best, but as we continue to go, I'm pretty sure like I'll get a lot better at this too. That's all I got. See ya.